जब खत्म हुआ था तो लगा था अब मजे ही मजे, ना तो होमवर्क की टेंशन ना यूनिफॉर्म की। पर कॉलेज के पहले ही दिन पता चला दैट अटेंडेंस इज कंपलसरी। ये सुनते ही दिन में सवारे हुए रात को सजाए हुए तारे चूर चूर हो गए। अब बस बैठकर नोट्स बनाओ, चाहे वो क्लास नोट्स हो, चाहे वो सैटरडे के सेमिनार के नोट्स हो। छुट्टियों का तो पता ही नहीं चलता कब आती है और कब चली जाती है, क्योंकि घर से लेकर क्लास, उसके बाद ट्यूशंस, पूरे दिन नोट्स बनाते बनाते ही दिन चला जाता है। और उसके बाद एग्जाम के समय मुझे खुद के नोट्स ही नहीं मिलते और व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप्स पे पूछने से पता चलता है कि एक दोस्त को दिए थे जेरोक्स कराने के लिए। सोचते सोचते कि इन सब से पीछा कैसे छुटाऊं, आई फाउंड अ स्मार्ट वे ऑन हाउ टू सेव टाइम एंड स्टडी स्मार्ट। सो वॉच इट टिल द एंड बिकॉज द लास्ट टेक्निक इज साइंटिफिकली प्रूवन। Let's begin with the first one, that is record lectures. अगर आप लेक्चर सुनते हैं तो उसे रिकॉर्ड करें एंड रिकॉर्ड करने के बाद उसे 2x की स्पीड पर सुने। दिस इज द बेस्ट वे टू सेव टाइम and filter the right information to make your notes. While attending class or a seminar, this is the smartest way to recollect everything without working hard. And this will also help you to enhance your listening skills. ना ही आपके नोट्स में कुछ मिस होगा और ना ही एग्जाम से पहले कोई नोट्स मांगने आएगा। अब जैसे ही मैं नेक्स्ट टेक्निक के बारे में बताना चालू करूंगी, आपको लगेगा कहाँ मैं स्मार्ट बनने के बारे में बातें करते करते why am I talking stupid? It is because stupid people are not afraid of getting caught up in a situation. Ask dumb question. Most of the times in college, when teacher used to explain some concept, I used to nod yes in fear. क्योंकि अगर मुझसे कोई सवाल पूछ लेगा तो मैं आंसर तो दे नहीं पाऊंगी। इससे अच्छा है हाँ ही बोल दो। एंड जब मैं बाकी लोगों के चेहरे देखती थी तो लगता था इन लोगों को तो सब समझ में आ रहा है। फिर क्यों ही टीचर 100 बच्चों में मुझसे सवाल पूछती और मैं आंसर नहीं दे पाती। That's when I realized it's better to ask dumb questions. It's not necessary that people around us are perfect and they have understood everything that you have not. जैसे कि एक दिन क्या हुआ that I asked a question in the class which initially I thought was dumb, but later on realized that it was a good question. जब स्टूडेंट्स आकर मुझसे बोले that thanks bro you saved our day, we had the same doubt, but you know the teacher right? So it is true that most of the times people around us also find it difficult to understand things. So asking dumb question is smarter than not asking questions at all.
The reality is I'm an idiot. Like, and I'm not being flip about it. Like, I don't understand very complicated things. And so I ask a lot of questions so that the person who's telling me something complicated, who's talking in terms as if I understand them,
Sure.
finance or neuroscience, I don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
And I ask enough questions just so that I understand it. So is what you're saying this? No, that's not what I'm saying. Well, what are you? So I'll give you a perfect example. So a long time ago, I had a client. They were a public company, and they brought me on to do some work for them, but they invited me to sit in on a meeting from the consultant that they had hired. And so all the C-level executives and me, and this consultant was giving a presentation about something or other.
This is junior marketing.
This is when I had my little marketing company, and all the C-level executives sitting there nodding and taking notes on the PowerPoint that they had printed up in front of them, and I had it as well, and I didn't understand a frickin' word of it.
Yeah.
Right? I was like looking around, like,
Yeah.
and so I'd raise my hand and say, I'm really, really sorry. I know I'm the only person in this room without an MBA, but this doesn't make sense. Like, you say A plus B equals C, but based on your logic, A plus B equals D. Can you just say it again, please? I'm really sorry to slow the meeting down, everybody. You know, and you could see the consultant getting frustrated with me and would try and explain it again. I said, I'm so sorry. And one by one, all the C-level executives said, yeah, I don't understand it either. Now, if the idiot hadn't spoken up and said, I don't understand, they all would have nodded their heads for fear of looking stupid because they didn't understand. And they would have paid a lot of money for a document they didn't understand, and they would never have used it and would have sat on a shelf. And it's because I'm okay being the idiot. Like, that's why I'm not being flip. I'm okay everybody in the room going, oh, because I have to ask questions until I understand it. But the reality is once I can get to the point where I understand it, I can get it so simple that I understand it, and I can say it in simple terms. That means other people understand it too.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of value being the idiot.
And एंड याद रखना, जितना ज्यादा सवाल पूछोगे उतना ज्यादा आपको क्लैरिटी मिलेगी, उतने ज्यादा कॉन्सेप्ट्स आपके क्लियर होंगे। इसलिए रट्टू तोता नहीं बनना, स्मार्टली अपने कॉन्सेप्ट्स को क्लियर करना है। नाउ let's move on to the third smart way which every successful man practices, and that is following a system. जब किसी के भी ड्रीम्स के या गोल्स के बारे में सुनती थी तो लगता था सबको एक ही फील्ड में काम करना है। जब इंजीनियरिंग के बारे में सोचा तो सबको इंजीनियर बनना है। डिजिटल मार्केटिंग के बारे में सोचा, पहले ही लोग इतने सारे लाइन में खड़े हैं। पीपल अराउंड अस हैव सिमिलर गोल्स, बट व्हाई इज इट दैट ओनली फ्यू पीपल रीच द फिनिश लाइन व्हाइल अदर्स डू नॉट? It is because the ones who reach their goals follow a system. Most of the people are outcome driven. But what makes you smarter is focusing on a system of learning. अक्सर जब मैं एग्जाम से पहले नोट्स लेकर बैठती थी तो ऐसा लगता था कि मैं सब कुछ भूल गई, और ये मोस्टली मेरे साथ हिस्ट्री के सब्जेक्ट में होता था। नाउ आफ्टर फॉलोइंग अ सिस्टम फॉर लर्निंग हिस्ट्री, इट वाज इजी फॉर मी टू रिमेंबर डेट्स, मेजर इवेंट्स ऑफ 20th century. To understand these major events like Cold War, I created a chronological timeline and organized these major events like Manhattan Project, Cuban Missile Crisis, Fall of Berlin Wall in their order of occurrence. Followed by this, I made a visual map with the links between American Great Depression, World War II, and the rise of Soviet Union. Through this method, I could cover all the major events without missing their causes and effects. And when the exams were around the corner, I could quickly revise everything. I know आप scientifically proven technique को जानने के लिए बहुत ज्यादा curious हो रहे हो, but before that, let's discuss the fourth smart way, mind mapping. अगर मैं आपसे कहूँ कि स्क्रीन पे दिए गए सारे नेम्स को आप देखिए और 10 सेकंड बाद आपको ये सारे नाम मुझे बताने हैं, तो चांसेस आर दैट यू विल मिस आउट ऑन सम ऑफ द नेम्स. बट ऑन द अदर हैंड, इफ आई शोड यू अ पिक्चर वेयर एवरी नेम मेंशन्ड ऑन द स्क्रीन वाज रिप्रेजेंटेड थ्रू अ पिक्चर, you will quickly recall everything. And this is called as mind mapping. Whenever it gets difficult for you to remember a chunk of information, create a picture memory. And associating keywords with the image will help you remember things very, very quickly. I often used it while learning the diagrams of biology and the physical map of India. चाहे tropical green forest हो या heart का diagram, कौन सी चीज किस कोने में है मुझे अभी भी अच्छे से याद है. Now that we have discussed all the smart ways of learning, let's move on to the last technique जिसके बारे में आप इतनी देर से क्यूरियस थे. That is the Feynman technique. Whenever someone used to ask me if I understood a certain topic, I used to say yes. ऐसे में they would respond saying कि भाई मुझे भी सिखा दे, वो क्या है ना मेरे भाई की शादी थी, so that is why I missed that class. अब ऐसे में कैसे बताऊं कि मुझे तो समझ गया, but भाई तुझे समझाना बहुत मुश्किल है. Which brings us to the scientifically proven the Feynman technique. In short, Feynman technique developed by Richard Feynman tells that the best way to find out if you have understood a topic is by teaching others. Let us understand the Feynman technique in brief. First step is to pick a topic that you want to learn and start studying about it. After you are done, take a piece of paper and write down everything that you remember. The next step is to read and write at the same time like a teacher. And while doing this, if you get stuck at a point, go back and read again. Then repeat the process until you explain it from the beginning to the end. And the last point is, when you are done, repeat the process again by simplifying the language, using graphs, flowcharts, etc. to explain a point. If you are able to simplify complicated things to anyone, you have learned the technique. One of the benefit of Feynman techniques is it helps you find out the areas where you need more hard work. हो गया ना, एक तीर से 3 निशाने. YouTube भी देख लिया, नई टेक्निक भी समझ ली और दोस्तों में नाम भी बना लिया. अगर आप ऐसी वीडियोस देखना पसंद करते हैं तो do not forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel because we will be coming up with more such interesting videos so that you do not miss any opportunities to become smarter every day.